Good morning. It's 1 minute before noon, and I'm standing by here for everyone to get connected to our Sunday messages for Labor Day Sunday, Labor Day weekend. Different kind of weekend. No games to go to. Picnics have to be modified. But the sun's out. It's only 80 degrees in Pittsburgh. We're having one of our gorgeous days here. So please get yourself out today or tomorrow. And it's also the last day for Kennywood and Idlewild and Sandcastles. So there are some places open to take the kids for a few hours that will be closed after this weekend. So that's my Pittsburgh news. So we're going to open with our opening prayer, and then we're going to have this beautiful gospel song by Ronnie to take us into the lesson. If a small number of people gather lovingly together, like us, today, with absolute purity and sanctity, with their hearts free of the world, experiencing the emotions of the kingdom and the powerful magnetic forces of the divine, and being at one in their happy fellowship, this gathering, will exert its influence over all of the earth. The nature of that band of people, us, the words we speak, the deeds we do, will unleash the bestowals of heaven and provide a foretaste of eternal bliss. Sacred writings. Now, to get ourselves centered, I'd like you to, I make the request, especially of you, those out there, please be in a quiet space just for this next half hour. Be with me, be with the words. Quiet your heart, quiet your breath. Turn off your cell phones, put them aside, just for this little bit of time. Give your soul some rest. Prepare your listening for not just what my words bring, but also what your guides may bring who is standing beside you right now. So folks, what we want to do is our deep breath exercise. So what I want you to do is bring in your breath. Think of it, visualize it through your third eyes, coming through your crown chakra. This nice, bright, gold yellow from the divine with little sparklies in it, fairy dust. Bring it down through your crown chakra, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and then your base. Down your legs to the floor where you ground it. And then as you exhale, please exhale stress, shadows, concerns, so that we can restore you at least for this 30 minutes to a place of peace, quiet, okay? First breath, really taking a good breath. And exhale, all the shadows, move them out. Deep breath. Deep exhale. And one more time. Great. Get your body comfortable. Settle your buns down here. Give me a really good eye glance. And now with your dominant hand on your heart and your other hand on your solar plexus, that's the I am space. I am space. Spirit, flow through us, touch our hearts, guide us along the path to our fulfillment. Spirit, flow through us and touch our hearts, guide us along the path to our fulfillment. I love me. Myself loves me. I love myself. Myself loves me. I love myself. Myself loves me. Thank you. So now let's hear this great new song from Ronnie.
This is a gospel song called It's Done. Anita Wilson does a wonderful version on YouTube if you get a chance to check it out. It's done. It's already done. I receive, it's already done. It's done. What I shall be, I already am. It's done. God has worked it out on my behalf. My eyes may not see it. By faith I receive it. I will manifest. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done.
Thanks, Ronnie. It's already done. It's already done. You're just here today because I'm inviting you, Spirit is inviting you to revisit that part of you. The theme for today, expressing your divine self. Now, we've had a very big picture the last month. We've talked from the point of way of the Tibetan, we're inside the seventh ray, and the seventh ray's plan is for intelligently sensitive human beings committed to being aware, set the plane on earth for the coming of Christ consciousness. Yes, my friends, there's no going to heaven. There's creating heaven here where we are. And what that takes is remembering that we are first spiritual beings standing in the physical plane. There's a duality to our nature that creates a tension, but a positive tension. So the intention for today, having the practicality of your spiritual beingness as expressed in your life, show you on the way to expressing your divinity. That's the way to be on your way to express divinity, is coming from your spirituality as expressed in the physical world, managing back the external factors that impact you and your beloved and your loved ones in this life. So there is the big picture. It's the plan. Okay, but let's bring it home today. Let's talk about being aware and self-mastery. Now, if you look at the chart of the chakras and force centers that we contain, and you can see that through your third eye. If you close your third eye, I had that picture up last week, the diagram, so to speak, of that being in yoga position with all of the force centers, beginning with the base, the sacral, the solar plexus, gets us to our belly button. That's the self-awareness levels. That's what we manage. Those are the conversations that we're first knowing. And those are the conversations that are managed by our mind. But like breathing, we want to become to a certain level aware of those, but not succumb to those, not be dominated by those, not be dominated by fear for safety, not be dominated by our cravings, our lusts, our just our physical demands, and not be dominated by the who am I and am I enough that can sometimes occur when you're not centered inside that force center called your solar plexus, the I am. So we want to create some leverage there. We want to be responsible for the fact that the volume can be loud, but we can dim it. So we can move on up. And then we move to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is where we think from there, we create from there, we be from there, and there's our sweet spot. That's our sweet spot. From within, so without, what we want to express isn't the turmoil that comes from first, second, and third chakras. We want to come from the heart, our heart expression of what we want. We want what we want in desire for ourselves and our lives. Who we want to be drive us. We want that to be our future. We want our actions consistent with what we see for our future. And then in the throat chakra, we express that. We share that. We communicate who we are and what we're up to. In the third eye, we visualize it. We return home to it in our meditation so we can keep that in front of us. The visualization of it, the sense of it. And the crown chakra is where we meet us at our divine expression. The crown chakra. And it's all possible. That whole journey is possible. But again, we don't want to just talk about the big stuff. We're not going to just talk about the big stuff. We want to talk about, what does that look like in life? How do we find our flow magic? How do we get to that sweet spot and stay there? That place where we surrender to life as it unfolds, but we're fully engaged, we're fully participating. And as we're participating, what the outcome is of our acts, our words, is the upliftment of humanity from the energy we're providing the planet through the exercise of our self-expression. And it matters. It really, truly matters. So the world is out there, and we have to engage with it. But as we said last week, we want to engage with it on our terms, based on our life, the direction of our life, the expression of our self-love and our commitment for our growth. Our terms. We want to weave the changes that are upon us right now into what we want for our life, day by day, day by day. And we want to look to see what that is. And there's been, this is actually the Suicide Prevention Month, and I want to remind people of that. That this pandemic, this disassociation, this aloneness has served many of us well. I've so thoroughly enjoyed the time I've been able to be with my reading, my study, my meditation. I've been so excited about that. And many people separated suffer. And so there's a coming together that I'm committed to, of small groups inside the community where we can touch each other's energy fields, actually be present. So that's why we're having small groups, appropriately socially distant, to be at the services and enjoy a light lunch afterwards in community. That's what we're doing. What are you doing? What are you doing for yourself, for your work, that workplace, those associates with your family? What are you doing to provide that opportunity for you to express your love and for them to receive it? What are you doing? So we want to just begin there. You can begin on these small deeds to actually get to where we're getting to. And I want to stop here for you who are low. Don't stay there. Don't stay inside that. Get on the phone or get online and actually let someone know, not your story. Begin from standing in love and respect. Acknowledge them. Just take a look. Who is there to acknowledge in your life? Who is it you want in your life? Who is it you want to be part of, have part of theirs, their piece of their sweet flow? And you invite them into yours. Begin with acknowledging people, and the energy just in the expression returns to you. It lifts your frequency. And when you lift your frequency, you begin to dissipate that grayness. So it's not in the retelling of the story that made you sad, because you're maintaining that low vibration. It's in moving above it into a place of gratitude, looking for what is you have and what could be possible, and what has been made possible when you had those good moments. Go back to those people and appreciate them, and both of you will be lifted. It's in these tiny things we do that we can add God to the world. So getting back to this, what do we mean by expressing your divinity? So expressing your divinity is assuming that you're committed to being awakened, Remember a couple weeks ago, the Coltrane Bible was talking about that if you looked for and asked the everyday man what was his commitment to spiritual development, they would probably say, "Leave me alone. I remain undisturbed, and as those thoughts come to me, I may entertain them." Well, we're committed. The people who I'm speaking to here, and I'm sure that's why you're here, we're committed. We're committed to being awakened, and we're committed to find practices. And that's what the Sacred Journey of Life is committed to doing, providing you with tools, resources, practices to wake you up, to keep you awake, to make you conscious to what's possible, on the path to what's possible. And it's all kinds of tiny steps, because we breathe moment by moment. We have life on a daily basis. And inside that daily basis, with tiny steps of appreciation and gratitude and joy, whether it's wearing your fragrant oil or taking a flower to your elderly relative, or making a meal and enough that you can share with the neighbor, spread joy. And then it only takes these really tiny steps. Maybe you're someone who can actually be a tutor and help out the mom with the 4 kids who now has to do virtual learning, be teacher in the lives of their children. There's so much you have that I really want you to get in touch with. So the 4 stages of awakening have nothing to do with opening your gifts. We're not sitting here talking about you being a psychic. And we're not talking about the seeing, the feeling, and the healing. All those gifts you naturally have. Right now what we're talking about is moving through stages to help you remember the divine truth of who you are and what your purpose is for your human experience in this lifetime. Because those gifts will open on your path to self-discovery. And they'll assist you in the transition. And then after that, what you do with your sacred gifts is up to you. The 4 stages of awakening happen over time. Stage 1 and stage 2 are those stepping into self-discovery. That's looking in and managing and being part of an inquiry about the base, the sacral, and the solar plexus energies. Now, 3 and 4 are self-mastery. 3 and 4 are the heart and the throat. And these stages can happen quickly, or we can actually spend time in a stage for a while. It all depends on your commitment to yourself and to your journey. In the stage where we call it expressing your divinity, what you'll see is you're moving on to a global level of service. You know who you are. You express who you are. At core level, you've mastered many initiations into different levels of growing up. Your higher chakras are open, and they work in unison with the main 7 chakras, so you can channel universal information and connect to the grid. So then there's a divine, but there's spaces between your divine and you reaching that supreme divine connection. Not seen, but that's the level of teacher. So we get from here and get to expressing our divinity, then we can start moving to, as we develop our spirituality, the level of master and teacher. And some of the light workers out there, I know that's what you're committed to. When you're expressing your divine, you've reached a state of enlightenment in body and consciousness, where you can begin to experience a universal connection to all things. That's the embodiment of your divinity, is being in all things, getting the oneness, getting the synchronicity, and being at peace with it. The mind is quieted when you're at the peace of it. There's no ambition, there's no striving to the I am having an imprint out there. There's this natural expression of fulfillment and being one-on-one. And it's comfortable. We begin to break free of judgment of ourselves and others. And then this happens when we accept and love ourselves, no matter where we are in the journey. There's no A plus, B plus. There's no halfway there. Every day is the moment of that expression. Every day is whole and complete. We're no longer triggered or annoyed by another because we see where they are, or we judge their behavior, or we agree with it or we don't agree with it. We just know that who they are and who they're being is serving their purpose on their journey. And that's none of our business. And as we recognize that, and as we recognize that the opportunity to relate to each person we come to, we can begin to see a shift. We begin to see a commitment to heal and be healing. And again, we get to see the opportunity of ourselves and them. We look for commonality. We look for shared expressions. We honor the dignity of who they are. Hello? Hello is, I am here and you are there and I recognize you. Hello. I am here and you are there and I recognize you. You're true to you are when you be that. You're in your divinity because much like a beautiful diamond is encrusted in mud and coal, you've removed and cleared everything that is not who you are. And what's left is that polished diamond. You've cleared it. We are always divine, no matter where we are in any of these stages. We're always divine. We're divine beings in a case, in a role, in a game token. That's our bodily incarnation in this life. But truly, we're always the polished diamond. What did Michelangelo say? Is he was asked how he created David, and he said all he did was remove stone until the expression was there. It wasn't about making something, it was unconcealing something based on the vision he had in his mind, taking away the stone that wasn't the expression of the diamond. It wasn't the expression of David. It's just easier to see the beauty and authenticity, yours and that, of that person you love, the person you work with, the person you have to deal with, when you begin to remove the muck, when you begin to look at people with your third eye, not your critical eye, not your judgment eye, but with your third eye, of looking to who they are as energy, talking to their best self, address their best self. And people have bad days, and their best self may not be what's right there. You address their best self. You remind them. You remind them by the connection you're offering. Your interactions then can be clear, they're genuine, and you reach a new level of freedom. Because you're not bound by the benefits of being with them. You're not bound by the have-tos. You've created and caused relationship in your communication. And see, you can do that every day by day by day. Every communication. And whether it's online, virtual, on the phone, in person, you cause and create your communications. Have what leaves your mouth leave your mouth with intention. What's the intention of the words I will speak now? Inform or agitate? Express affinity or let them know who you are? The ego, the identity, pressing forth to make an imprint versus the divine, causing relationship, causing the relatedness. Why are the words coming out of your mouth? And what's the tone? What's the tone? Generosity? Good spirit? What's the tone? And you watch this. You watch it with the waiter and the cashier and the barrister at Starbucks. And you absolutely watch it with your children and your loved ones, your beloved. You absolutely watch what you're offering when you speak. What you're offering. That's it. What you're offering. And we don't measure our words. We don't measure our energy the way we measure our bucks in our pocket or measure the calories in that dessert. We don't operate like that on a day-to-day basis. But bringing these practical expressions to your day-to-day life give you the mystical attunements you need to fulfill on your journey. To fulfill. And you've already been with me when I tell you again, you've got to have some time of stillness in the day to recollect who you are. To recollect who you are. And to give the opportunity to your other to speak and manage this child, and to allow the teachers in to offer you the next thing that points to the future, that supports the future. You need that quiet. And whether it's the 15-20 minutes when you wake up or in the shower, or that 15 and 20 minutes before you go to sleep, fluffing your pillow, give yourself that time to be all of it, to be whole and complete. Express love for yourself and gratitude for yourself by putting mind to bed and opening up heart to God. That'll lower your blood pressure, guaranteed. And then you're looking back over the day. And you look back over the day, and you actually begin to notice, where did the tone of my day change? I got up happy. I got up committed to being generous. I got up with an intention to be focused on purpose. Where did it change? Where did the mood of the day change? Where it became an attack or a dismal result? Where did it change? And look here, because you're the author, you're the creator. There was something that occurred that you took in, swallowed whole, and didn't stop it at the door of your consciousness. You didn't stop it at the door of your consciousness and pay attention to the vibe of it, the frequency of it, the noise of it. You just allowed everything in, all the externals, and then with this idea you could sort it out later. No, ladies and gentlemen, no. You're a spiritual being. You're impacted by energy. Everything's energy. Good, bad, indifferent, it's all energy. And you've got to be responsible for what you swallow, what you take in, because it changes your day. It stops you. It freezes you. It paralyzes you. Mystical attunement. Mystical attunement is a being aware of your energy field. The body is the vector. It will speak for you. Is there stress? Are the shoulders up now? Is the head tucked down now? Are you moving away from people? Your body is telling you. It's giving you the reaction that you've got to step back from and be present to so that you can put in correction. Mystical attunement. Mystical attunement. Consciousness. Being aware. Because, ladies and gentlemen, nobody is coming to save us. Each one of us are on this journey of fulfillment. Alone responsible, but not alone to travel. No, not alone to travel. Alone to be responsible, because we created the agenda when we birthed ourselves, but not alone to fulfill on it. Takes a village. Takes a village. So be in communication, and if you're still alone, please be in communication by any means. Make yourself known to yourself by making yourself known out here. Get on the line. There's an I love you to be said. There's a thank you to be said. Or simply there's the hello. Hello. I am here and you are there. I acknowledge that. It's very simple. And inside of that energy, and inside of that becoming aware of ourselves, and inside of us mastering our reactions, we begin to fulfill on seeing with the third eye what else is possible, and experiencing through the crown chakra our divine expression, our divine awareness. It's all possible. So we started with the big picture a few weeks ago, and the big teachings, and we're going to continue to offer them there. But I'm also reminding you that the Sacred Journey of Life is a teaching center and a healing order, and things are available. So please enjoy the messages. Please go back to review the old ones to be enlightened or to remind you. But also be in contact. Communicate with us on Facebook by response to those things that we communicate. I request that you go up to our YouTube channel, The Sacred Journey of Life, and subscribe. I request that you go on to the new Instagram account. It's now separate from my personal ministry account, The Sacred Journey of Life, and to get on and follow. You can say hello here anytime. So we want you to have a safe holiday. We want you to enjoy the holiday. We want to have you use some of the space of the holiday to reflect on where you want to take yourself this fall. We only have 3 more months to the 2020, and most of us haven't had too much time to fulfill on what we thought this year was going to be about. But there's 3 more months. So reflect on your personal journey and your personal goals that fulfill on that big want. That, what do I want? Who do I want to be when I grow up? Who do I want to be when I grow up? It's not too late. You may not be at the beginning, but any day you can start on the new part. Any day you can begin to see yourself fulfill more on who you are. So we're going to close our prayer with a short prayer, if I can find it. But my hope for you and my intention for you is aliveness, wellness, expressed love. Prayer is called blessings. May you receive an answer, a sign, a message, good news, something like that. You no longer have to overthink about it. Let it go. You did your part. You did your best. You prayed about it. You visualized. You took action. You did everything on your end. Now relax. Breathe. Things are moving towards you. It has already happened for you. The minute you thought it had already been aligned to manifest into your reality. Now is the best time for patience and celebration. See it as a complete vision. How would you feel if you received that good news tomorrow? Be that feeling. Carry that feeling forward. Put yourself in that expected state. There's no separation between your intentions and the manifestations of it. Right now, it's already done. It's happening. This is a message to bring you ease and comfort so you can have that reassurance that you got this. On a spiritual level, your creation is complete. You are a thought realm, and that thought realm is a space for creation. What we think, we see, we hear, and experience on the outside, all manifestation of what's coming from within. You have already created what you're about to receive. Now enjoy yourself. Have a great time with yourself or your loved ones and friends as we finish this holiday weekend. Do what makes you happy instead of sitting around overthinking or worrying about how and when, and if you deserve it, and if it could happen. Miracles happen when we are just living and expecting blessings to come suddenly. And those expected blessings will come while we're celebrating. Lift your mood and believe you living and experiencing the best of who you are and what you want. Breathe for a moment and lift your mind higher. Good news and sudden breakthroughs are happening before this week is over. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. Idi Ahmed. And now what I ask you to do too in celebration this week, and this is Labor Day weekend. This is for all those people who've gone to task for us, who cleaned the highways and built the bridges and the truck drivers. And this is the Labor Day weekend, and we can't have our fabulous Labor Day weekend party and parade in Pittsburgh. But honestly, say a prayer up for those who have labored before us, to give us the infrastructure we have, and then let's just take on being responsible for that we maintain it and be internally grateful for all that we've been presented to, gifts we've been presented, and then let's just marvel at it. My God, there's just so much good stuff. There's so much good stuff out there. So I welcome you to the Wednesday chat room at 6 to discuss this or just to share yourselves. It's an opportunity for self-expression. I invite you to return next Sunday for messages. My name is Michelle Sailing. I'm the spiritual director for the Sacred Journey of Life, Spiritual Center and Healing Center, and I'm at your service. I love you. Namaste.